Hey, what's up, everybody? This video is going to be kind of a two-parter. Well, not two-parter, but I'm going to talk about what I'm titling this video, and then I'm going to do like a check-in, like a very brief check-in at the end. I was thinking about doing it first, but I kind of wanted to talk about this topic first, and then I'll check in. Kind of something bad kind of has happened. Not to like cliffhang you guys, but it's something that was really frustrating when it happened a few days ago, but I'll get into that. But I just wanted to say, you know, I've been getting a lot of people commenting on my videos lately, and also somebody mentioned the nitrous harm reduction subreddit. And so I posted there. I was hesitant on posting there just because I didn't want to come across as self-promoting my videos, just because I think that's kind of obnoxious. You know, if like people are just spamming, I guess it depends on the context and like how nuanced it is, but you know, if someone's like going through all the subreddits and just posting like, check out my channel, that's I find that annoying, you know, no offense to anyone, but I don't want to do that. So I was hesitant on posting there, but I decided to anyways, with just kind of like a brief written summary of my experiences. And then I also linked two of my videos where I talked about the nerve damage from the nitrous oxide and a little bit about the recovery from it. And yeah, so I've been getting, seems like more comments, like some comments on there and some comments on my videos. I've also been getting actually, the subscriber rate has been increasing and like the view times have been increasing. And, you know, I've said this before, I'll say it again, you know, that's not my primary motivation behind this channel, isn't to get, you know, views or subscribers or likes, but I would be dishonest if I said, oh, I don't care about that at all, or like, oh, it has no effect on me. It's like, it's cool. I think it's fucking awesome. It's really cool that there's people checking out my content and especially interacting with it. I really appreciate that. So yeah, that's kind of just like why I thought about making this video, is just you know, just like a statement of you know, things have been kind of more active on my channel and kind of what I'm hoping to kind of do online. And also I wanted to express my appreciation and gratitude for those that have been sharing their stories. You know, there's only so much you can write up in a comment or even like a post online, you know, because everyone's story is unique and different in different ways. You know, it might have similar experiences, you know, like, you know, sounds like a lot of people, you know, some didn't get to the point where they weren't able to walk, but they still had a hard time with walking and balancing. So, you know, there's definitely differences. And, you know, some people, which makes me happy from the sound of it, a lot of people have been seeking out medical treatment after they had the symptoms of that nerve damage and, you know, the ataxic gait, you know, not being able to walk very well or at all, you know, the diminished feeling in your extremities, the peripheral neuropathy and nerve pain, and no one's mentioned it explicitly, like going to treatment for the mental health, like active mental health effects that I've talked about, like the mania and the psychosis. It sounds like people have mentioned it, and it's actually kind of cool to speak with other people about that, just because it was such an intense experience. Pretty scary too, because a lot of it was like paranoid delusions towards the end, and that's what, you know, led to me having my first arrest and being tased by the police and dogpiled. You know, I know it's not like a laughing matter. I know that's a very serious matter. I'm glad no one was hurt other than me, but yeah, no one's explicitly stated that they've gone to treatment for that, but people have been going to treatment for the physical effects of the nerve damage. And I think that's so awesome that people are doing that. That's one thing where my story differs. I think I've mentioned it, but the only medical intervention I really had with my nerve damage was like a month or so. I think it was like late April. The timelines are so iffy, so I'm sorry if I contradict myself. Hopefully you can understand. One, it's been over 3 years now, which is insane. I can't believe how fast time has flown by. But two, my memory is not the best back then. I mean, for obvious reasons of being damaged, or just like my brain and body being abused so heavily by the negative effects of the nitrous, and then of course, not doing self-care at all, not sleeping much, not eating much. So it's hard to say, but yeah, my only experience with the treatment was going into the emergency room at the behest of my close friends, and because I was like, there's no point in going. Well, there's a few things as to why I didn't bother going earlier, and wasn't even thinking really about going at all. I didn't care, I mean, yeah, it sucked, but at the time I was pretty for me, I think I've talked about this. My baseline is always, even when I'm doing well, wishing, or at least wouldn't mind to be dead, because my thought process says if you're dead, there's no struggle, there's no effort, you don't have to wake up in the morning and go to a job that you hate, or even the good things, I like going to the gym, but that requires effort. But so that's kind of my baseline, just to have a little context. But of course, back then I was, pretty actively suicidal, or not, but my thought process was oh, it would be so sad and so tragic if I killed myself. Oh man, I'm probably gonna well, it's not like I can monetize myself right now, but I'm sure if I can and do in the future, this is definitely not monetized. Probably none of my videos really are going to be monetized, but that's okay. And I know I'm thinking too far in the future. That's not my goal with this channel, but it'd be nice. I'm not gonna another thing, I'll sit here and I'm not gonna be dishonest and say, oh no, I don't care about that. Anyways, I'm getting really off track. I'm sorry, guys. But yeah, I thought it would be tragic to take my own life, but it would be more acceptable or less tragic if I happen to pass away as a result of accidentally with the substance use. So the nerve damage and not being able to walk kind of played into that. That's kind of what I wouldn't necessarily say hoping for, but I was just okay, I don't this is the next step towards death. But then too, typically with nerve damage, or at least my understanding, I'm not an expert. I do like to think I am decently well read when it comes to biology and anatomy and physiology and all that fun stuff. But a lot of nerve damage, people with experiences with nerve damage, a lot of times people don't recover that much or recuperate that well, which I mean makes sense. Well, I guess it depends. I shouldn't say it makes sense, because it's that doesn't make sense. It's like the Chewbacca defense on South Park. Does not make sense. Sorry, that's an old school reference. That episode's super old. But I guess with nervous system, it's not so regenerative as the liver. The liver's pretty good about regenerating. I mean, your skin, you get cut, the cells regenerate to a degree. Of course there might be scars, But with the nervous system, yeah, not really. Like, nerves don't really tend to grow back. I mean, in your brain, you know, nerves can grow and die and adapt. You know, that's how the brain works. You know, that's how we, like, you know, when you learn something, you're getting those connections. But as far as I know, like in the peripheral nervous system, I mean, that doesn't really come back. So the reason why I mentioned that is because I was just like, well, what's the ER? The ER is not going to be able to do anything for me. I thought I was just going to be like that forever. I really didn't know that it was possible to recover from the nerve damage. So that's also why I enjoy doing these videos, is, you know, hopefully I can provide some hope and, you know, inspiration to others. You know, like at my lowest, I wasn't able to walk. And now, you know, I'm able to walk. Like I walked to the store earlier today, and, you know, I can bike, even though my bike is still broken, which is frustrating. You know, I can weight lift. Yeah, so I'm glad, and that's the feedback I've been getting too, and that's also why I wanted to make this videos. I really appreciate the feedback and people, you know, saying like, oh, hey, you know, I enjoy watching your videos, or, you know, they've been helpful. One person said they were like listening to me at work or something like that. So I think that's pretty cool. You know, I promise, well, shouldn't promise, I'm going to do my best to not let it go to my head. I say that jokingly. This isn't like an ego thing, you know, it's just like, I'm just glad though that it's helping me doing these videos, but it's also, from the sounds of it, helping some others. So I think that's like a win-win. Yeah, I guess one last thing I'll state, kind of about my experiences. Yeah, it was pointless. I went into the emergency room, and I'm sure I've talked about this, but I went into the emergency room. They ran a liter of normal saline, which was pointless. And then they were pretty much like, yep, nothing we can do. And they wrote me a prescription for vitamin B12. I didn't even fill it. I really don't understand how I recovered, honestly, like looking back. I think getting up and walking when I was finally able to, I was motivated to go to the corner store to buy beer, because at that time I'd blown through all my money, and the only thing I could really afford to like self-medicate with was alcohol, like cheap alcohol. But that's a different story, or, you know, I'm really like getting off track. So yeah, you know, people's stories, I guess the main point, you know, people's stories differ, but there's some similarities. So I'm glad that, you know, people are able to relate, and I really appreciate everyone sharing as best they can their story and kind of their experiences. I mean, it's unfortunate that people are having those experiences, because obviously then they're experiencing something similar, and, you know, I would never wish that upon anybody. So, you know, I'm not happy that they're commenting and having that experience. And I'm sure, like, I don't have to explain myself. I mean, it's pretty obvious, you know. It's not like I'm like, oh, good, more people with nerve damage so they can comment. No, obviously no, that's not the case. But I'm just glad though that at least kind of these videos and some of my activity online has been helpful to people. So and you know, allowing people to kind of have a bit of a platform, or at least be able to talk about their experiences, because for me it's just been very therapeutic to talk about this stuff, and hopefully with other people sharing, you know, that's hopefully a part of their healing process and a part of their recovery. Yeah, I think that sums it up. Just thank you everyone, and even those that, you know, aren't, you know, like having a similar experience and having nerve damage, and are just like kind of listening because it's interesting or whatever. I just really appreciate everyone watching, and just all the kindness and the support. You know, it really makes me want to continue doing this. I'm glad I've been doing this. And yeah, you know, like not to beg for subscriptions and likes and comments, but it really does help, at my understanding, with the YouTube algorithm. You know, the more subscribers you have and the more the view time, comments, and likes, you know, it tells the algorithm like, oh, okay, maybe we should like promote this a little further. So, I mean, again, it's nice, you know, it's kind of cool that, you know, to have this happen, you know, like, but I'm not in a conceited way, but it's cool that it's starting to hopefully spread out a little bit more, and I'm hoping that continues. So I just appreciate everyone's help with that. Okay, so a recap. Pretty much, sorry, and I know I kind of made it like a cliffhanger-esque. That wasn't my intention, and it's really not that bad, like I said. But it's so fucking frustrating. So I'm trying not to. My shirt's really ripped. I'm trying not to show too much. My fucking monitor broke a few days ago. It'll turn on and like it'll light up and have a picture for like 2 seconds, and then it'll flicker off. I kind of knew this day was coming, or that day was coming, for a while, because every so and then it would like kind of flicker for up to, you know, like 30 seconds. You know, turning off the monitor and turning it back on helped sometimes. But, you know, practicing gratitude, I'm thankful that when I moved into this room, the housemate that was living here and switched to a different room, apparently there was, and I'll show you guys in a second, there was a TV that was left here, and he was like, yeah, you know, like, just leave it here. And it previously was up here on this dresser, but I moved it down to use as kind of a backup. But it kind of sucks because it's not letting me do like a 1080 resolution. It's like default into like 1300 something, I don't know. It won't let me do the 19, which is weird because yesterday I unless I'm crazy, I could very well be going crazy and this never happened and it's all in my mind, but I was able to switch it to 1080 for like a little bit, and then I turned off the TV. I left my computer running, but well, put it in sleep mode, and I turn off the TV, you know, because I like to conserve electricity whenever I can. I forgot what I was doing, like scanning receipts or something. I wasn't using the computer, but when I came back and turned it on, it defaulted to what it's on now, and it won't let me. Now it's saying it's not supported. Granted, I mean, it's like a pretty old, it's older. My computer's older. I don't have a dedicated graphics card, and it's a VGA connection, so it's like pretty primitive. But it again, unless I'm crazy, it was running 1080 for a while, and it looked actually nice. You know, it's still a little bit too big, but the 1080 made it at least not like burn my retinas. But here, so let me show you guys. Wait, I can flip this, right? Oh, I don't think I can flip this. Okay, well then, here, we'll do this. So yeah, so in my freaking cardboard desk, the cereal box is there because I have my phone propped up on it. But yeah, dude, it's like freaking huge, and like, look at the resolution. God, it's so big. So yeah, like I said, nothing like horrible, but really frustrating. I am glad though that it's like I'm starting to get to the point in my recovery where it's like, hold on a second. Gotta make myself look good. I'm getting to the point in my recovery where, something like that happening, like the thought of being so frustrated or frustrated enough to go out and buy beer or drink or use or whatever didn't even cross my mind. Where in the past, you know, even something even more minor than that would be like, oh, like, oh, go drink. So it's nice that I'm starting to finally. Why is there a box on here now? Oh, hopefully you guys don't see that. If it's there, I apologize. It's like, I think it's a way to adjust the brightness. I really need to figure out, one of my goals is, when I hopefully get more income and have the money, better PC, so that way, because I would like to start streaming again and playing games. I think the internet's been doing pretty well, not dropping, but a better PC where I could play like more recent games and more advanced games would be awesome. New monitor, obviously, and new webcam, and probably a new mic. Eventually, it'd be nice to have more of a professional setup, and not do this on my phone. But I'm thankful though that the phone is a pretty easy and accessible way for me to make video content and have it be decent quality. So I'm really thankful for that. Yeah, it just kind of goes to show you the power of gratitude. Like, again, a few days ago, I could probably still be frustrated if I, you know, didn't kind of balance that out with, at least I have this TV, you know, like I'm grateful for this TV. I'm grateful that it connects to my PC, you know, it has a VGA. That's a good thing about it being old enough to where it has a VGA port. I'm sure new TVs don't have a VGA. That's pretty ancient technology. I guess not that ancient, but you guys know what I mean. But yeah, just being grateful that I have a solution for now, at least. You know, it doesn't have to be a permanent solution. So yeah, that's the frustrating bad thing that's happened. Otherwise, well, I guess another thing too, which is frustrating. Apparently, I was not able to get a free bus pass for this month. Long story short, they messed up. I've been getting free bus passes so I can attend treatment. Because, like, so they messed up the card. Like, apparently they didn't have the right card on file, and so they have to send me a new card. But because by the time I get the card, I missed one of, like, you need like 4 or 5 appointments per month, but since by that time I've already had one last Thursday, I have my mental health appointments on Thursdays, I don't qualify, so they're going to send me a few day passes and a new card that they didn't say it's going to be loaded. I assume it's probably not going to be loaded, which is frustrating. So, you know, but at the very least, hopefully when I call next month, they'll have that one on file and can, you know, give me a bus pass. And you know, like, I'm not complaining, because it's like, I do recognize the fact that it's like, I've been getting free transportation, which I'm so grateful for, incredibly grateful for. You know, not having it really makes me, you know, like, everything that I've lost or like haven't had, you know, temporarily, it really makes you think about how useful that was, or like how much you took it for granted. So as a result, not just because of that, but I wasn't feeling super great. I still don't feel super great. I don't know if I've been fighting off an illness or it's like allergies or asthma. I think I've been fighting off like a upper respiratory infection, and I kind of just like, I take liposomal vitamin C daily, and I also have been drinking kombucha relatively daily. So, not to be old bro sciencey, but I think like my immune system's been good enough to where it's like kind of prevented me from getting full blown sick. Either way, not feeling very well, and so that plays into the fact also that I haven't been to the gym the past 5 days. I missed Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, and then Wednesday, and then I'm gonna miss today too. I was thinking about doing it. I do have a little bit of bus fare on one of my cards, but I'm trying to save it. I could reload it, but oh, my monitor just went off. I could reload it, but I'm trying to be as conservative with my money as possible. Like I said, part of it in hopes that I can buy, you know, like some better equipment sometime in the future. And of course, rents and food and stuff like that, you know, because food stamps only gets you so far. Yeah, that's kind of a bummer too, but you know, I have been, recovery coaching's been going pretty well. I've had a few peers that haven't been as consistent as they were, so you know, I hope they're doing okay, but it kind of sucks because then that means that I don't get as much money on you know, the paycheck, because it's based on when I meet with them and submit an assessment. So but I've been matched with two, but these two that I've been matched with today, from the sounds of it, both probably are not going to be interested, or like, you know, just contact me back and say, actually, let me see something. Yeah, no text message. I also emailed, what I've been doing is email and texting the info that is sent to me on the match, so that way I can reach them both ways. I know I could call. Calling is probably the best way. I hate calling. I'm okay talking on the phone, but I don't like making a phone call. I know that's weird. I'm sure there's some people that can relate. Anyways, so I might not be able to work with either of those peers, but hopefully I'll be getting some more. But I'm just thankful that I'm able to so far, you know, pay rent and take care of myself, and you know, I have access to, you know, a computer and recording equipment and, you know, monitor and a home, and I have food and I have a nice cozy bed. So you know, go on and on and on. So it really helps to kind of just keep that in mind whenever I'm like, oh man, I wish I had this, or you know, something like that. So I'm starting to get a little hoarse. I don't know if you guys can hear it. A little horse is a pony. I'm starting to get a pony. So yeah, I think that's gonna be it. Again, you know, just thank you guys, everyone that watches. I'm glad that this has been helpful for some. I really appreciate you guys sharing your story. I look forward to hearing more, especially like hopefully these people like will update us, and I say us because I'm sure there's others reading the comments as well, and it would be cool to like see or hear that they're doing well or doing better. So hopefully that's the case. You know, I try and encourage that when I respond to the comments. So but yeah, thank you all for that, and thanks everyone else for watching, and I will see you guys next time.